There we go. Welcome everybody to say howdy, howdy. All right. Now, I'm just going straight at it. I do not have time to move around. Here. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 9:48 a.m.
Okay. Bum, bum. All right. Sue joined us this morning. You guys, how's it going? PTO Dre. Hey, Lenny. Yeah, YouNow person. Morning, you guys. Just getting ready to do a little bit of warm-ups and stretching. If you have any questions, it doesn't have to be on personal training or health issues. Whatever you want to ask, be my guest. This is really awesome. Cran blackberry. Practically no sugars. Great flavor. What, Zoe? What? What, Zoe? What? Come here. Say hi to everybody. Oh. Everybody say good morning, Zoe. Say, hey, Zoe, how you doing? Say morning, Zoe. My little Chewini, she's about 12 years old. All rescues, my dogs. And now, you guys, hit me up with some questions. Whether you're here or not, I've still got to get my weights. So if you want to go ahead and join with me, it doesn't matter what weights you're using. I don't care if they're 3-pounders, 5-pounders, 10-pounders. It doesn't matter. You want to get up, join me with the weights I'm doing. That's awesome. Hit me up with some questions. Otherwise, I'm just going to play Price It. It's fun. Yeah, it's a fun little game. A new one I've been playing on Amazon Alexa, where they describe an item on Amazon that's for sale. You got to guess the price in dollars, and they pit you against somebody any place else on the planet, I guess. They pick out by general age range for you to play against. You guys would check this out. It's kind of cool. Let me move this back a little. Alexa, play the Price It Right.
I can't find the song The Price Is Right.
Alexa, open Price It Right.
This is Price It Right, the game show where we ask you to guess the price of Amazon items. How many people are playing? Say a number from 1 to 4.
1. 1.
Let's play Price It Right. I'll give you 7 Amazon products. On your turn, you can guess the price by saying $1, $100, or anything in between. The best guess gets full points. The second best guess gets half points.
They didn't hit me against anybody.
I'm connecting you with another player.
Oh, here we go.
What's your name and location?
Brad, Southern California.
Finding opponent.
Don't you love the finding opponent
You are
sound?
playing against Joseph from Tulsa.
Tulsa,
Now,
Oklahoma.
our first item. Best guess gets 10 points.
Got to do 25 of these.
This item is the hardcover edition of the book Leonardo da Vinci by Walter Isaacson. da Vinci is the #1 New York Times bestseller that chronicles the life of Leonardo da Vinci. It's a hardcover biography clocking in at 624 pages.
What is your guess?
$40.
The item actually cost $15.32. Joseph came in first this round by guessing $34. and won 10 points. You came in second and won 5 points.
We're off to a good start, so let's hear about our second item. Best guess gets 20 points. This item is a 30-pound bag of dry dog food from Blue Buffalo. If your dog likes lamb and brown rice, your dog will love the taste of this dry dog food. It's 30 pounds of lamby, brown ricey goodness with no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. It's made with the Blue Life Protection formula to support the health and well-being of your dogs. This is 30 pounds of premium quality dry dog food that your canine will love.
You have 5 points and your opponent has 10. What is your guess?
$22.
The item actually cost $47.99.
Holy
You
moly.
came in first this round by guessing closest and won 20 points.
Can't believe I beat him on that
Joseph
one.
came in second by guessing $15 and won 10 points.
I can't wait to tell you your third item. Best guess gets 30 points. This item is a stainless steel sauté pan from Cuisinart. This sauté pan holds 5.5 quarts and comes with a stainless steel cover. It's oven safe up to 550 degrees Fahrenheit, and you can throw it in the dishwasher. This stainless steel sauté pan weighs 6 pounds.
You have 25 points and your opponent has 20. What is your guess?
$30.
The item actually cost $32.87. You came in first this round by guessing closest and won 30. Joseph came in second by guessing $89 and won 15 points.
Would you show me our fourth item? Best guess gets 40 points. This item is a set of 5 casino dice with a carrying bag from Artemis Brown Trading Company. You know those clear, slick dice they use in Vegas? Maybe you've seen them in person, on TV, or in movies. Well, these are those dice. All 5 dice are made by a precision machine to be casino quality and come in a velvet bag to keep your dice safe. One Amazon reviewer said that these dice give your craps games an authentic feel.
You have 55 points and your opponent has 35. What is your guess?
$12.
The item actually cost $14.95. You came in first this round by guessing closest and won 40 points. Joseph came in second by guessing $11 and won 20 points.
Show me our fifth item. Best guess gets 50 points. This item is 5 Hot
Kettleball.
Avenger
Really
cars
handy.
from Hot Wheels itself. These die-cast cars are inspired by Marvel's hit Avengers films. Each of the 5 cars is made
25 either
with
side.
a different Avengers costume. Each car is 3 inches long, which is the standard size for a Hot Wheel.
You have 95 points and your opponent has 55. What is your guess?
$20.
The item actually cost $19.99.
Wow.
You came in first this
Off
round
by
by
a penny.
guessing closest and won 50 points. Joseph came in second by guessing $25 and won 25 points.
We're racing towards the finish line with this 6th item. Best guess gets 70 points. This item is an end table from DHP Parsons. This black wood grain end table has a desktop that is 20 inches and stands 18 inches tall. It's sturdy, light, and easy to assemble. The seller describes this end table as perfect for everything from a dorm room to a living room.
You have 145 points and your opponent has 80. What is your guess?
$31.
The item actually cost $13. You came in first this round by guessing closest and won 70 points.
Still
Joseph
big.
came in second by guessing $110
Whoa.
and won 35 points.
I think he was a
It's
little
the
over.
final item, and it's a tough one. Best guess is 100 points. This item is an 18 hot dog roller grill from Old Midway. You know those hot dog grills they have in convenience stores and gas stations? You can have one of those commercial-ready hot dog rollers in your home. This simple-to-use hot dog roller grill can cook 18 hot dogs at a time, rotating the hot dogs constantly and collecting the juices in a removable stainless steel drip tray. This product is so commercial ready that it even has its own sneeze guard. This 18 hot dog roller grill could be a big hit at your next party.
You have 215 points and your opponent has 115. What is your guess?
$85.
The item actually costs $139.99. You came in first this round by guessing 100 points. Joseph came in second by guessing $28 and won 50 points. We finished the last round. You won with 315 points. Joseph finished second with 165 points.
Fun stuff.
Before the game, you were
Hey, Scarman, it's going.
percent of players. Based on Joseph's leaderboard ranking, winning brought you to the 66th percentile.
Wow, what a game. Would you like to play again?
What do you think, you guys? If you don't have any questions, let's do it again. Sure.
Would you like to play again?
Yes. Tricep curls.
How many people are playing? Say
One.
a number from 1 to 4.
1. 1. You guys can play along though.
How many people are playing? Say
One.
a number from 1 to 4.
1.
Let's play Price It Right. I'll give you 7 random Amazon products. On your turn, you can guess the price by saying $1, $100, or anything in between. The best guess gets full points. The second best guess gets half points. I'd like to connect you with another player who's your age. What's your name and age?
Brad, 58.
Finding opponent. You are playing against Allison.
Come on. Let's hear about your first item. Best guess gets 10 points.
Tricep
This
curls.
item is 62 dishwasher detergent pods from Cascade. Specifically, these are the Cascade Platinum Action Packs. These dishwasher pods require no measuring. To use, buyers just put one pod in the detergent chamber, close the dispenser
50
door,
of these.
and run the dishwasher. These detergent pods clean baked-on food and leave silverware sparkling clean. These 62 dishwasher detergent pods will help keep your kitchen squeaky clean.
What is your guess?
$10.
Please clarify your guess. An example guess sound like $5.
$10.
The item actually cost $13.94. You came in first this round by guessing closest and won 10 points. Allison came in second by guessing $25 and won 5 points.
You've done one. Now let's bring out our second item. Best guess gets 20. This item is a twin bed sheet set from Amazon Basics. It includes one flat sheet, one fitted sheet, and one pillowcase. It fits mattresses up to 16 inches deep, and it's made of 100% polyester microfiber. Reviewers commented on how soft the fabric is in this single set of bed sheets.
You have 10 points and your opponent has 5. What is your guess?
$25.
The item actually cost $13.99. Allison came in first this round by guessing $23 and won 20 points. You came in second and won 2 points.
Time to ratchet item. Best guess gets 30 points. This item is an electric rechargeable toothbrush from Philips. Specifically, it's the
Who's
Philips
joined us?
Sonicare 2 Series
Hey, Ricky.
Sonic Electric Rechargeable Toothbrush.
You guys can hit me up with questions anytime.
A 2-minute smart
You're
time.
playing trivia while,
Battery life. The electric toothbrush charger base is small enough to take with you on a trip, so you never have to miss out on a thorough brushing.
You have 20 points and your opponent has 25. What is your guess?
$28.
The item actually cost $20.95. You came in first this round by guessing closest and won 30 points. Allison came in second by guessing $15
Hey,
and
YouNow
won 15 points.
Would you show me our fourth item? Best guess gets 40 points. This item is a Himalayan salt lamp from Home & Kit. This Himalayan
I have
salt lamp
one.
emits a warm light from the center of a
I have one right there.
pink salt. This Himalayan salt lamp stands around 8 inches tall and 5 inches across. It weighs around 5 pounds. Because each Himalayan salt lamp is handcrafted Each lamp is different, unique light into your house.
You have 50 points and your opponent has 40. What is your guess?
$35.
The item actually cost $19.99.
It's gone down.
You came in first this round by guessing closest and won 40 points. Allison came in second by guessing $75 and won 20 points.
Show me our fifth item. Best
Kettleball.
guess gets
Next
50
up, you
points.
guys. 50 of these.
It's a Star Wars Millennium Falcon Lego set. It weighs in at 5 pounds with 1,329 Lego pieces. The Star Wars Millennium Falcon Lego set has 6 minifigures with assorted weapons. The minifigures include Rey, Finn, Han Solo, and Chewbacca, plus a BB-8 droid. It's the
What do you
ultimate
guys think?
Lego
How much?
Star Wars gift for your young one.
You have 90 points and your opponent has 60. What is your guess?
$55.
The item actually cost $239.99.
Holy moly.
You came in first this round by guessing closest and won 50
I don't
points.
believe that.
Allison came in second by guessing $30 and won 25 points.
It's the penultimate item, so gear up. Best guess gets 70 points. This item is a handmade leather wallet made by Rustic Town. This handmade leather wallet has a bifold design, 12 card pockets, and a photo ID pocket. It's an RFID blocking wallet to protect you from hackers. A top reviewer said that this wallet is a nice piece of leather craft. It's clear that this reviewer appreciates the handmade design of this leather wallet.
You have 140 points and your opponent has 85. What is your guess?
$45.
The item actually cost $19.99. Allison came in first this round $25 and won 2nd and won 35 points.
If you were looking for a walk in the park with our final item, look elsewhere. Best guess gets 100 points. This item is a travel telescope from Celestron. This travel telescope can achieve up to 20 times magnification, which is perfect for observing the moon and planets. You can even use it for wildlife observation from a distance. This travel telescope is light, portable, and it comes with a padded backpack-style case and a lightweight tripod. What will you be able to see with this travel telescope?
You have 175 points and you're 155. What is your guess?
$125.
The item actually cost $59.94.
I was over.
You came in first this round by
Still
guessing
beat her.
closest and won 100 points. Allison came in second by guessing $200 and won 50 points. We finished the last round. You won with 275 points. Allison finished second with 205 points. Before the game, you were better than 66% of players. Based on Allison's leaderboard ranking, winning brought you to the 72nd percentile.
I'm embarrassed to say I feel a little bit of a rush. Would you like to play again?
No. We can get back to that in a
Nice.
minute, you guys.
Your reviews are what make this game possible. So please, drop us a review in the Alexa Skills Store.
Just want to say good morning. Say hi to you guys. See if anybody has any questions that I can answer for you this morning. Remember, they don't have to be on personal training or health coaching. Any topic is fine with me. Just getting a little bit of stretching and some weights done this morning. It's my Thursday weights morning, so I'm going to be doing this whether you're here watching me and asking me questions or not. So 6 of one, half dozen of the other. If any of you guys are like me, overweight, or before that I was obese, join me. At least get off your tush long enough to be participating in something. I don't care if you're just walking around, you put on some music, dance, I don't care what you do. Be active. The less time you spend sitting down, the better. Take it from an old IT guy who sat around for 25 years and got really, really fat and smoked cigarettes. This year I am helping people quit the cigarette habit for free. So any of you are still smoking cigarettes, even if you're vaping, it doesn't matter. Any nicotine use, I'm helping people get rid of. No charge. Just reach out to me on any of my links and we'll Skype and make it happen. Anyway, appreciate you guys watching. If anybody has any questions on pretty much any topic, I'm up for it. Just this week, some of the questions and topics I've answered, just so you understand. One, best foods to eat when trying to lose weight. Fastest way to lose weight. That was a question I got. I was working with a gentleman who has been suffering amnesia. He's only 24. Sent him directly to his doctor. Spoke with a lady on here who's suffering from anorexia and the side effects. Quite a few people I've talked to so far are also suffering, like me, with lower back pain. That's a common issue. 1 out of 3 Americans suffers some form of back pain. So I've been working with people on here for all the different issues, physically as well as some emotionally. Some folks have a tendency to eat more food than they need to, not because they're hungry, but more of a way to help them relieve emotional stress and pressure. That's why we call it comfort food, right? I know, I have my own comfort food, so I fully understand, believe me. So anyhow, hit me up with any questions. I'm going to take a few minutes to start talking about SMART goals. Yesterday I promised, we had about 40 of us on here yesterday, and when we finished I promised I would be back today to talk again about, losing weight, taking care of diabetes or getting off the pre-diabetes list, getting rid of the freaking cigarettes, the tobacco, and setting goals that are going to be achievable, SMART goals. Everybody at the beginning of the year has New Year's resolutions. By the end of January, most of those New Year's resolutions have been let go. They're gone. The reason is when you set a New Year's resolution, same as a goal, same thing, when you set that, if you don't make it specific enough, if you don't make sure that it's not just ethereal, I want to, become a better person, that's fine. But unless you're setting some specific goals and targets, along with that, something that you can reach and achieve or do a step-by-step plan to achieve that goal, then it's pretty much not going to happen. We all know that. Most New Year's resolutions don't wind up being resolved. When I want to talk about SMART goals, all right, that's when we're talking about New Year's resolutions and pretty much anything that you set your mind to accomplish. Okay, if you want to accomplish something, you can do it, but first and foremost, you need to make sure that you're creating a SMART goal. All right, to be specific on this, a SMART goal is something that is specific. Okay, it's measurable, it's attainable, it's relevant, and it's time-bound. The 5 things, the 5 key ingredients for any goal to be effective, to be a SMART goal, something that is actually going to be achievable. Let's take an example. Suppose you're a 200-pound person and your doctor says you have to take off 10% of your weight. You have to take off 10%. Right? You might need to take more, but your doctor says you're on the pre-diabetes list now. So in order for you to get off of that pre-diabetes list and not become a full-blown diabetic, you need to take off 20 pounds minimum. Small goal, but for a 200-pound person, that's 10% of their body weight. So they want to take off 20 pounds. So how are they going to do it? Okay. One, they need to set the goal. That is their goal. We already know that's the goal. So it's very specific. Okay. Specific part of that goal, 20 pounds have to come off that person. Measurable. Can you measure that? Well, absolutely. You know whether or not you're going to get down on the scale to 180 pounds. You know if you're a 200-pound person, your doctor says take off 10% of your weight to get off the pre-diabetes list, you know darn well at the end of the goal, if you've achieved that goal, if you've attained the goal, then yes, it's measurable. You know you've taken off the 20 pounds. Is it attainable? Okay, so you're talking about specific, measurable, attainable. Is that an attainable goal? Can you achieve that goal? Well, sure. Anybody can lose 20 pounds for the most part. I mean, yes. If you're a 200-pound person, your doctor says you're overweight, you need to take off 10% of your weight, 20 pounds, to get off the prediabetes list, I would call that attainable. But of course, that depends on the time frame that you put that. If you're talking about taking off 20 pounds by the end of next week, then no, that is not attainable. But losing 20 pounds just as a general goal is attainable. To make it a SMART goal, it has to be time-bound. We'll get to that one. So far we're specific. We know we're going to lose 20 pounds, measurable. Yes, we know 20 pounds is going to come off. Is it attainable? Yes, but that depends. Is it relevant? Is it absolutely related to what it is you want to accomplish? You want to become more healthy, you want to lose weight, you want to get off the pre-diabetes. So losing 20 pounds is very relevant. And then the final thing, time-bound. Now that's the key, with weight loss especially. That is the key. Because you see all of the commercials on television now. You see all of these Weight Watchers and Slim Fasts and, the Atkins plan and the South Beach diet and whatever, Marie Osmond is hawking these days for the weight she took off 20 years ago. And they all want you to do the same thing. They all want you to sign up for their diet programs. And they all promise you the same thing, lose weight fast. Well, you don't gain weight fast. That you don't put on the pounds overnight. It doesn't happen that way. Up to this, I didn't get up to 252 pounds overnight, believe me. So nobody gets overweight or obese overnight. It's a slow, steady, constant eating, sitting around, not exercising. It just happens over time, and there's no symptoms to it. It's not like you get, sick, you get a runny nose or fever or sore throat. When you're getting heavier, there really are no symptoms until, like me, you get hit with type 2 diabetes and things go out of the... But let's get back to the SMART goal that we're talking about. A 200-pound person has been told by their doctor they have to take off 10% of their weight. They have to lose 20 pounds because they're on the pre-diabetes list. Okay, so a 200-pound person, they need to set a SMART goal. They need to set that goal to take off that 20 pounds and do it properly. If you're going to set a goal, it has to be SMART. Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. Those 5 key things. For the person who needs to take off that 20 pounds per their doctor and get off the pre-diabetes list, they know specifically they're going to take off 20 pounds. They're going to measure that. They're going to know when they stand on the scale at the end, have they got down to 180 pounds. Is it attainable? Well, that all depends on the time frame we put it in. All right. Is it relevant? Yes. You want to be more healthy. You need to lose weight. You got to get off the pre-diabetes list. Losing 20 pounds is very relevant. Time-bound. Now, that is the key factor. Again, that is a factor when it comes to weight loss that we really need to look at carefully. When I'm working with someone who needs to lose weight, I say a pound a week. I'm happy with a week. 2 pounds a week, okay, you're really going strong. But a pound a week, I'm very pleased with. Even a pound every other week. The bottom line is, as long as you're on a negative energy balance trend, okay, as opposed to a positive energy balance trend, and the difference is pretty simple. Every 3,500 calories that you consume, that you don't burn off in some form of exercise or energy, something turns into 1 pound of fat. It's very simple. Conversely, every 3,500 calories that you burn takes off a pound of fat. For a 200-pound person to maintain their 200 pounds, to stay that weight, and make sure I'm answering any questions. I don't want to miss any questions down here. Hey, Dan, how's it going? Yeah, of course, been to Malibu lots of times. Pound a week would take 5 months to lose 20 minutes. You're doing your math today there, Dan. Did you have your Wheaties this morning? So you're right. When you're setting that SMART goal, and you need to take off that 20 pounds off that 200-pound person to get 10% off to get diabetes list, 20 pounds at a pound a week is about 20 weeks, about 5 months. I say give it 6 and give yourself plenty of room. Okay? So that is the time-bound factor. That's your T in your SMART goal. So specifically, you're going to take off 20 pounds. You're going to measure that 20 pounds on the scale by the time you're done. Okay? You've given yourself a 6-month window to take off that 20 pounds. Plenty of time to do it. If you do it sooner, all the better. But giving yourself enough time to do it properly is the key thing. So it's specific, it's measurable, it's attainable. Yes, you can take off 20 pounds in 6 months. Is it relevant? Absolutely. Your doctor says you've got to do it to be healthier. Get off the pre-diabetes list, which every one of you should be concerned about. And time bound. You've given yourself enough time to get that goal accomplished. That is how you set a SMART goal, and that's with anything. I don't care what it is you're trying to accomplish. You're getting a new career, moving up in your current career, just anything that you want to do, right? If you make it a SMART goal, any goal that you set, if you make it a SMART goal, so it's specific, it's measurable, it's attainable, it's relevant, and it's time-bound. If you make it a SMART goal, then you have much, much better chance of actually achieving that goal, of going to the length and getting it done. And it can be done, believe me. If I can take off 110 pounds slowly over time and get rid of a 31-year cigarette habit in the process, I'm convinced that anybody can do it. And I've helped quite a few people in the past 5 years quit smoking, lose weight, manage their diabetes, get their chronic pain under control. And it doesn't matter how old you are. I don't care if you're 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 years old. If you need to lose weight, you can lose weight. If you need to get in better shape, you can get in better shape. If you need to take control of your type 2 diabetes, you can take control of your type 2 diabetes and make sure that you never ever get neuropathy. The numbers right now are very scary, gang. We have an obesity epidemic happening right here in America right now. And I got caught up in it. Right? That was me at 205 pounds. Right? Before that, I was 250 plus pounds. My BMI was 38. Just so you understand, mass index is what I use, and all health professionals, personal trainers, health coaches, we all use the body mass index to determine whether or not an individual is in shape or out of shape, and if so, how badly out of shape. The BMI, anything between 18.5 and 25 is the normal range for BMI. If you don't know what your BMI is, go to any place on the internet, just go look up body mass index calculator, BMI calculator, and you'll put in your height, you'll put in your weight, and you follow it to a little box, and that'll tell you what your BMI is currently. So anything between 18.5 and 25, that's normal body mass index. Below 18.5, you're underweight. Between 25 and 30, you're overweight. Anything over 30 is obese. Over 35 is mortally obese. My BMI at my heaviest was 38. 38. And I was a cigarette smoker at the same time. So I didn't do myself any favors. So if you don't know what your body mass index is, if you don't know what your BMI is, fine. If you know what your height is and you know what your weight is, you can find out your BMI in about 2 seconds. So to me, that's the number that I want to know. I'm not as concerned what your weight is as what your body mass index is. That, to me, is the key to whether or not you're in a healthy range for your height and your weight. If you're not, and 2/3 of America isn't right now, 2/3, 66, 67% of us. And I include myself in that because as far as I'm concerned, I could easily be back there. Both sides of my family have large people. My mother had weight issues. My uncle on my father's side was one of those people that probably could have done one of those My 600-Pound Life shows that I watch and wince at all the time. Because I know these people can be helped too. I mean, once they have gotten to that point, they truly need professional doctor's help at that point. For me, if somebody has got a BMI of under 40 at least, I can help them, right? They don't have to go through surgeries and diet plans and lap bands and bariatric and sign up for all these meal replacement programs and short-term fixes. What you need when you get out of shape, when you get out of weight, is a logical, long-term, realistic plan that you can stick to. That's going to help you take off the weight. And I tell people all the time, I know darn well you're just not all of a sudden going to start eating rice cakes and salads and turn into health nuts. You're going to keep eating most of the food you're eating now. You're not going to stop eating those burgers and fries and meatloaf and fried chicken. I mean, that's just not going to happen. Let's be realistic. Okay? The objective of all the diet plans and all the meal replacement plans, the objective of all these things you see on television right now is to maintain your calories at a certain level to help you lose weight. That's what they're doing. The meal replacements, they're giving you a certain number of calories per day. Okay? The diet programs, the Weight Watchers, hello, Weight Watchers, you're watching your weight. They're literally showing you or making you or doing it for you count calories. It's what it comes down to. Seriously. Because, again, look at a pound person that needs to take off weight because they're overweight, their doctor says they're on the pre-diabetic list, and out of 324 million Americans, gang, 84 million are pre-diabetic right now. That's more than 1 out of 4. If there's 40 people on here watching, that could be 10 of you could be on that pre-diabetics list right now, which is another number. If you don't know your body mass index, I need to know if you know what your A1C number is. Do you know how your body is glucose? Right? If you have not been checked for diabetes or pre-diabetes, if you have not done your annual physical and gotten your labs done, do so. Especially if you were like me, because it snuck up on me. It literally did. Diabetes snuck up on me. There I was. This was beginning of January 2005. All right? And I put all this, I put this all in a book so people can actually see what the heck I went through as far as getting rid of the cigarettes and quitting, getting rid of the weight and quitting the cigarettes and taking care of the diabetes. The first 5 chapters in this book are strictly to help people. Chapter 1 is quitting smoking. Chapter 2 is losing weight. Chapter 3 is managing diabetes. Chapter 4 is managing chronic back pain. The first 5, 6 chapters in that book are all designed to help people become better. And fortunately, it's been pretty effective. On Amazon, there's even some reviews, people that have lost weight and quit smoking just by reading the book. But bottom line is, if you're one of those people who are on the pre-diabetics list, that means that you're not diabetic yet, right? You're right on the line, okay? That means good news and bad news comes with being pre-diabetic. And if you don't know, find out, seriously. But good news and bad news comes with being pre-diabetic. I'll tell you what that is. Somebody have a question here? Hey, Kelly, what's going on? Hey, Lidair. Hit 'em. Rosie, pinhole edibles. I like that. Stefan, what's going on? Pinhole edibles. You guys really come up with some creative names sometimes, seriously. I gotta give you kudos. I mean, there's some really creative folks on here. I enjoy working on here, just so you understand, and I enjoy talking to you guys. If I had the ability, I'd take every one of you and pull you right into this room right now and put you in a chair where I could see you, look right into your eyes as I'm trying to tell you this information. That's how I understand and know that, it's hitting. So please, I want feedback. I want questions. If you have comments, if you're dealing with any of these issues, this is your forum. They pay me $35 to $50 an hour for this stuff normally. If you're hiring me as your personal trainer and health coach, you're going to be paying me $35 an hour, and I'm worth every freaking penny. But the ability for me to come on here and work with you guys as my back this year. My MLK Day every day. That was my New Year's resolution on YouNow. All of these are going saved over to Tumblr and YouTube. And any of my clients, I'm telling you, you can go look at these anytime you please. But the bottom line is, if I can help, and most of you are millennials watching this, and I appreciate that because I have 4 of them myself, I expect all the millennials to live to 100 plus. Without drooling on yourselves, without wearing diapers. You with me? I expect the generations coming up to be living to 100, 120, 150 regularly. Within the next 30, 40 years, we will literally know how to end the aging process. We already understand physically what causes aging. We understand the telomeres on the end of the cells, and when they die, the cell dies. We know what causes aging. We understand oxidation. Once we figure out how to reverse that or stop that, imagine being 30 for the couple hundred years at least. We'll have bots small enough that they can inject them into your system that will go and help regenerate everything that's dying off. The 2 things that we're dealing with in this universe that will never ever change, entropy and atrophy. All right? You'll never get away from them, ever. All right? The only thing that we can do is fight them off. All right? The entropy and atrophy for humans, the worst thing, sitting around, being sedentary, not being active. Look at it like this. The human body is kind of like the Tin Man with his oil. For us, our lubricating, right, what keeps our joints healthy, what keeps all the cartilage and everything working between your bones, right, and in your joints, is movement. The more you move, the more you're going to be lubricating all of your internal joints and things of that nature. So movement is a key for human beings to stay healthy. Hey, Emery, what's going on? Kelly, what's happening? Appreciate that, Emery. Seriously, you guys, hit me up on this stuff. If you have any questions, if you have been recently hit with type 2 diabetes, go away. Sedentary reminder on my smartphone. Yeah, even us personal trainers use them. And I highly recommend, if you sit on the job for a living, right, especially, set your phone off every 30 minutes to make sure and remind you. Get up, stretch, right? The longer you sit around in one position for a long period of time, the more damage you can be doing to your lower back and your hips. Right? And of course, it's easier to put on weight when you're sedentary, when you're not being active. The key to being healthy is very simple. 75% of your concentrated effort should go into the nutrition, the food that's going in your body, what you're consuming. 75%, okay? 25% of being healthy, balanced person, is activity. And I'll use the E word, exercise, right? Have to have it. 75% though is your diet. So when someone comes to me and they've been hit with the bad news from their doctor, you have diabetes, you need to lose weight, whatever. One of the first things they hit me with is, I don't want to go to the gym, I don't want to exercise. Well, that's only 25% of the solution. And you don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to buy a gym membership. I don't care what you do to exercise, as long as you find something that gets you off your butt 5 times a week for an hour. 60 minutes 5 times a week when you need to lose weight or if you're over 50, right? I don't care if it's power walking, jogging, bicycling, swimming, playing tennis, anything that gets you up and moving for 1 hour, 60 minutes, 5 times a week. That's simple. And it doesn't really have to be at a gym. You can do it anywhere you want. Mine is power walking. That's what I do. 4 miles at 4 miles an hour, 6 days a week. Putting in about 25 miles power walking to get my cardio. Right? For my resistance training, I do weights 3 times a week, about 500, 600 reps per session. So a little under 2,000 reps a week with the weights. And, probably somewhere I'd say about 25 miles a week, just for my cardio, right? And stretching is daily, all day, sometimes. When you're dealing with back pain, Being stretched and limber and staying moving is one of the best things you can do, especially if you have osteoarthritis, right? Or bursitis, like I have in my shoulders. When you're dealing with these issues especially, the more you move, the better. If, like me, you have bone spurs, osteophytes. I've got osteophytes from L1 through S5, right? Let's look at it like this way. If you don't know what an osteophyte is, what a bone spur is, especially in the spine, you know what a rose looks like, a long stem rose, right? On the outside of the long stem rose, the thorny rose, the thorns are pointing out, right? And if you go to grab that stem, you get stuck with those points. With an osteophyte, a bone spur, you've got a couple ways that can happen. Calcium deposits, or from osteoarthritis, you literally have the bone begin to disintegrate, right? And I call stalactites that point in, or rose thorns that point inwards. So instead of pointing out like they do on the stem of a rose, on the inside in your spine, they point in. And these are little bone spurs, osteophytes. Now, the only way that you can really work those down, right, is movement. The best way to work bone spurs down to the point where they're not sticking you and you wear them down is by movement. That is the best way. That's why most every doctor on the planet is going to tell you, if you have osteoarthritis, even rheumatoid arthritis, move. Movement is going to help. Bursitis, same thing. Even though I can't do anything about the bursa, that blow up, still being able to move and stay limber and keep my shoulders in the ability so I can reach where I need to reach, I can grab what I need to grab. I am not losing any range of motion in my shoulders because of the bursitis. I'm not losing any range of motion in my spine because of the osteoarthritis. A little range of motion loss due to, I have mild scoliosis and mild lordosis. But we all have physical issues. Nobody is perfect. Fortunately, the universe was born imperfect. Wouldn't even be here, right? Had it been perfect. Literally. The only reason that we're all here right now, and the only reason we exist at all, the universe didn't blink out of existence right when it was first born, is because there's just slightly more matter than antimatter. Just slightly more. But that slightly more amount of matter equates to everything you see in this physical universe. 13.8 billion years wide and expanding. Everything that you see physically is matter. It's just very, 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 51.1% to 49.9%, or even closer as far as the, difference between matter and matter. Had the universe been born during the Big Bang, had the universe been born perfectly symmetrical, right, with the exact same amount of matter and the exact same amount of antimatter, well, we all know that when matter and antimatter meet, they annihilate each other to zero. So if the universe had been born perfect, 50-50, we wouldn't be here. It would have blinked into existence and blinked right out of existence at the same time. That happens all the time in the multiverse. So be happy that we live in an imperfect universe. Do not try and be a perfect person. That's absurd. It's ridiculous. Why should we try to be perfect when the universe isn't even perfect, right? So what I'm trying to say is, as you are, you're the driver in that vehicle, that car you call a physical body, right? You're the driver. If your vehicle isn't maintained properly, eventually it's not going to stop working. It's not going to work properly. It's going to give you a hard time. And if you don't rotate your tires and change your tires and lube oil and filter your car, that's your for getting around. Same thing's going to happen. Same thing will happen if you let your car just sit in the garage for 6 months and you don't drive it. Your heart is very much like the engine in your car, right? It has to be run. You have to run that motor. In fact, muscle cars, if you don't run muscle cars, they don't work at all very well. You take it from an old muscle car owner. So your heart is a muscle, right? That muscle needs to be exercised regularly. So again, back to the balance, being healthy all the way around. On the physical side, physically healthy, 75% of your concentration goes into your diet, your nutrition, what you're eating, what goes into your system. 25% of your activity, your attention should go into your exercise, your activity. You can't ignore one or the other. You can't rely on just one or the other to be healthy. It has to be that combination. 75% of your attention is going into the food you eat, your diet. 25% is going into paying attention to your exercise and your activity levels. Right? And again, if you're already in shape, you don't need to lose weight. Your doctor's happy with all of your numbers, your BMI, your blood pressure, cholesterol. If you're in good shape already, if you're one of the 1/3 of America who's not out of shape, overweight, or obese, for you, and you're under 50, for you, you only need about 30 minutes of activity 5 times a week, 150 minutes a week to maintain the weight where you're at, keep your heart healthy, keep your joints lubricated and able to move. That's what it takes. If you're overweight or obese, either one, 60 minutes 5 times a week. That's what I require. That's what is necessary. Or if you're over 50, 60 minutes medium intensity exercise. And like I said, you could do jogging, power walking, you can play tennis, go swimming. I don't care what the activity is. Stationary bicycles are awesome. Treadmills are great. Steppers. Anything that you're going to use. Don't buy a piece of equipment, stick it in the corner, and let it gather dust. That's a waste of your time. It's a waste of money. Find something you like to do. That's the key. It's something you like to do. If it's as simple as going for a walk, fine. Great. At 250 pounds, the first day I had cigarettes, it was July 15, 2005, was my last cigarette. So July 16, 2005, 250 pounds, my first day of not smoking, and I implemented the diet plan and the exercise, everything at the same time. Right? But since July 16, 2005, I've hardly missed a day of walking because I know I can walk. That's something I can do anywhere I go. I'll go visit family in another state. I'll go on vacation somewhere. I can do what I do anywhere I go. And if I go somewhere that has a gym or a hotel that's got a weight room or whatever, I can incorporate that. But even if not, for me, if I go somewhere for a week on vacation, I bring this with me. I can't bring my kettlebell, but this 3-spring chest puller can give me all the resistance training that I need to do during the week I'm gone. And it packs up very nicely in a suitcase, so it's very portable. They've also got the bands that are made of rubber that you can use. I'm old school, so I like my chest puller. But like I say, 25% of the effort has to be some form of activity. You can't spend your life sitting around all the time and expect to be healthy. Even if you're at weight, you still can't be sedentary. You still have to move. You still need some form of exercise, and I don't care how old you are. And in fact, the younger, the better. The sooner you start getting activity levels up, the better. Anyhow, you guys hit me up if you have any questions on this. Who's joined us? No, funny enough, I started smoking when I was in Germany, and that was right after Kansas. And when I was in Riley, Kansas, just outside of Junction City, from where Riley is, where Fort Riley is, the big red one. My father was Army at the time. But yeah, from Kansas we went over to Germany, and that's where I had my first cigarette. Upstairs neighbor kid would steal his packs of Cools, and he talked me into trying one. Now, mind you, 13, 14 years old, it doesn't take a lot of peer pressure, to try a cigarette. But yeah, by 15 in Germany, I was a full pack-a-day smoker, and stayed that way to 46. Yeah, like I said, didn't do myself any favor. Kansas, good people, a lot of nice people in Kansas. Seriously, and boy, they take their basketball and their track seriously. I did both, and it was an awful nice people in Kansas. Anyhow, so bottom line is 25% of your time has to be spent doing some kind of physical activity. Something. Find something that's going to make you get off your butt and move. 30 minutes, 5 times a week if you're already at weight and in shape. 60 minutes, 5 times a week if you need to lose weight or if you're over 50. Right? Either way, and you can't ignore that. And you just can't say, no, I'll think of it. Required to be physically healthy, the physical side. On the nutrition, that all comes down to numbers, you guys. I don't care if you're eating health food every day. If you're eating too much, you're still going to gain weight. Every 3,500 calories that you consume, that you do not burn off with some form of exercise or activity, is going to turn into 1 pound of fat. That's simple. Conversely, every 3,500 calories that you burn, that goes off your body, takes off 1 pound of fat. It's a pretty simple process. Understanding how it relates to you might be a little more difficult. Let's take that 200-pound person. Even let's give you 3 formulas for this. A 250-pound person needs about 2,400 calories a day to maintain that weight, 23 to 2,400 calories to stay at 250. A 200-pound person, they require about 1,900 calories a day just to maintain that weight. 150-pound person, 1,354 calories a day to maintain that weight. Let's just say 1,400 for a 150-pound person, 1,900 for a 200-pound person, and 2,400 for a 250-pound person. That's just to maintain the weight that they're at. And that's on a daily basis. Okay? So if you take, let's say we take the 200-pound person, okay, at 1,900 calories a day, okay, if you're going anything over 1,900 calories a day, or you multiply the 1,900 times 7 for the week, all right, then you know the total number of calories you need 1 week to maintain your weight. If you're properly tracking the items that are crossing your lips, and you can literally see where the calories are coming from, you can easily sit down on your own and figure out, am I gaining weight, am I losing weight? Not that you can't do it by looking on the scale. But the bottom line is, until you decide you're ready to start taking control of that, and again, I know you're not going to start suddenly eating health food overnight. I know you're not going to run over to the store and start buying rice cakes and salads. And let's be realistic. But what we can do is start to take our portion sizes down a bit. Instead of like me going out at lunch and getting a double cheeseburger and a fillet of fish and a large fries and a shake, how about let's cutting the portion sizes down? Maybe a single cheeseburger or small fries. Skip the shake and have some iced tea or something. There are ways, small, slow steps that you can take if you start tracking properly what's going in your gullet. You start tracking it and you start figuring out where all those extra calories are coming from. You can still eat like you start regulating your portion sizes. That's the key. All right, so have a slice or two of pizza. Don't eat the whole pie. Go ahead, hit KFC on occasion and get a bucket of chicken. But just have a couple pieces. Don't eat the whole bucket. Are you with me on this? Because that's truly what it comes down to. And let me repeat this. I don't care if you're eating health food. Right? I don't care if you're eating a bale of spinach. Mind you, there's not much calories in spinach. But even if you're eating healthy food, if you're eating too much, if your portion sizes are out of control, you're going to be gaining weight. Unfortunately, most of us aren't eating health food and gaining weight. I certainly didn't eat health food to gain weight. I can remember daily, and fast food was a staple, Jack, McDonald's, Carl's, you name the fast food place, I would have it. I'd also sit there at my desk in the office, I was in computer training 25 years, and I would eat whatever it was I bought. And I'm still not sedentary, still not moving, I was very sedentary. So for me, I was able to figure out fairly easily back then what had blown me up to 252 pounds and put me in full-blown type 2 diabetes. And I understand the process now, much better. I wished I'd understood it back then. But now, I only got certified a few years ago as a personal trainer, more because I wanted to be the health coach, which was prerequisite, because what I do now is help people lose the weight by understanding realistic ways to get the pounds off. Realistic ways. Because you're not going to run out and buy a gym club membership. You're not going to run out and start buying rice cakes and eating salads all the time. It's not going to happen. Let's be realistic. But we can figure out ways within your current diet to slowly make changes. Portion sizes, bring them down. And yes, over time, you can replace junk food with better food. It's not going to be overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. And again, you don't gain weight overnight. You don't get heavy overnight. So don't expect that you're going to lose weight overnight. Ignore all of these stupid commercials you see on television. Lose weight fast. They're just trying to get your money. They just want you to sign up for their diet plans and their replacement plans and whatever it is they can hit your credit card with. And you don't need to waste your time. What you need is long-term lifestyle changes. Long-term things that you can incorporate into your life that you can actually do, right? Setting SMART goals. Setting goals that are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. Goals that you know you can achieve. Ones that are realistic. You can do it. We can all do it. It's just a matter of taking the time to do so. Anybody have any questions on any of this stuff? For those of you that hang out with me regularly, you know I will talk about this all day long. What's going on, Mr. Pryor? Anyhow, I need to get back and finish my weights. It's my Weights Thursday. I've been doing them and got busy chatting with you guys about this stuff. Mind you, I love the questions. Seriously, the more questions I get, the better. The more opportunity that I can react to your questions, especially if it's something having to do with your health issues. And remember, being a healthy person isn't just the physical, right? You've got an entire psyche. You may be the driver inside there, but you're dealing with the physical, you're dealing with the emotional, you're dealing with the mental, you're dealing with the intellectual, and the spiritual. Those 5 things are key to be an overall balanced human being. And you can't just do one or the other. They all have to be working together, all firing on all 8 cylinders, as us old car guys like to say. When you're physically healthy, that helps everything else, literally. We already know when you lose weight, when you start taking weight off, your brain functions better. We know internal organs function better, less stress on the heart. When you get rid of fat, especially the visceral fat, which is the fat that accumulates around the organs and causes things like fatty liver disease, which is on the rise and has been for the last 2 years. When you start taking the physical control and you start taking some of the pounds off, even a small loss of 10% of your body weight is going to make a huge difference in your energy levels, take you off that pre-diabetes list more often than not, just taking off 10%. All the stress it'll take off of your knees, your ankles, your joints, your hips, your back, and it'll take off your heart and your internal organs, not having to deal with hauling that weight around. And it amazes me, 110 pounds, I mean, literally, 110 pounds is what I used to carry extra. 110 pounds. I mean, for me, that's like, this kettlebell was 35 pounds. So 3 of these is 105 pounds, right? So it was just about 3 of these I was carrying around attached to me, mostly in this area. But 110 pounds, I still can't believe I was 110 pounds overweight. Right? And remember, it doesn't matter when you start. I don't care how old you are. right? If you're 20 or if you're 100, if you've got to lose weight, you need to lose weight. You can do it. It doesn't matter. The younger, the better, simply because you can bounce back faster. You can recuperate faster, right? Your body itself has not yet been damaged like I did damage to mine with the type 2 diabetes by my mid-40s. So the sooner you can start taking off weight if you're overweight or obese. Hey Karen, what's going on? Hey Tamara. We were just talking about SMART goals earlier. Like I promised yesterday, we have an obesity issue happening here in the country right now, in the United States. It's a global issue. 20% of the global population is either overweight or obese. But America is leading the way. 67%, two-thirds of America is either overweight, where I was, or obese, where I was before that. Show you a scary picture again. 252 pounds right there. In my 31st year smoking cigarettes, hit with type 2 diabetes. So I had to make the changes. I had no choice. For me, I did not like my doctor telling me that if you don't do some changes, you can start picking out toes and start picking out fingers that you don't like, because eventually they're going to start cutting them off. Diabetic neuropathy is nothing to play around with. Once you become a full-blown type 2 diabetic, the things that can happen to your body if left untreated are horrible. Diabetic neuropathy, where the nerves are literally dying, the circulation is dying in your extremities, beginning in your toes and your fingers. The burning sensation of full-blown neuropathy is almost unbearable, and people have to take pain medication of all kinds to deal with that. Right? You get open foot sores when you have diabetes. That means that even just a little nick, suppose you stub toe, right, and you get a little cut, well, that cut will get infected, it won't heal, it'll turn into an open sore, and eventually could turn gangrenous, which means you could lose that toe or lose part of your foot just because you have diabetes. That's not being managed, right? And like I said, two-thirds of America is obese or overweight right now. One-third of America is obese, one-third of America is overweight, one-third of America is at weight. So two-thirds of America needs to lose weight. Two-thirds of everybody I talk to needs to lose weight. That's where we are. It's an obesity crisis. Along with that obesity crisis, we now have a diabetes crisis looming, right? It is not full-blown yet. Out of 324 million Americans, 30 million of us, including me, are diagnosed as full-blown type 2 diabetics. We know. We've had that conversation with our doctor. We've had the blood test done. We already know our A1C level is at the point where we are type 2 diabetics. We have to, take medication to treat that. Unfortunately, one-third of the 30 million of us who've been diagnosed aren't doing anything. That's insane. That's just plain crazy. If you happen to know somebody who is diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic and they aren't doing anything to maintain or control or do something about it, talk to them, especially if it's a friend or family member, because basically they're literally taking their life in their hands and going, well, cross my fingers, hope for the best. That's not going to happen. Eventually, neuropathy is going to set in, retinopathy is going to set in. The nerves are going to die. The circulation is going to stop. The feeling will stop. And once that circulation stops and the feeling stops and you get that burning pain down there, that basically part of your body is dying. And that's when they have to come in and they have to start chopping things off. I saw it happen to a friend of mine, this end of his finger, first and foremost. Next, I heard he lost a foot, a whole freaking foot. 2 years later, he was gone. Gone. Dead. Gone. And he wasn't even 50 yet. So I know of what I speak. Right? This is the thing that scares the living daylights out of me. The obesity epidemic is one that we can control. One that we can take real firm grasp of and say, we can make changes here. The same thing happens with the diabetes epidemic, which is now pre-diabetes epidemic. Because like I said, we already know. We've been diagnosed out of 324 million Americans. But out of the 294 million who are not diagnosed yet, 84 million are on the pre-diabetes list. Let me repeat that number. 294 million Americans have not been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Of that 294 million, 84 million are pre-diabetic right now. All right? Now, I'm going to leave you with this because I've got to get going and finish my weights today. But there's good news and there's bad news that comes with being diagnosed as pre-diabetic. All right? The bad news is if you don't do anything, if you just cross your fingers and hope for the best, you don't lose any weight, you don't make any changes in your diet, if you don't listen to your doctor's warning, and that's who's going to let you know, a blood test, right? Your doctor is going to let you know if you're pre-diabetic. And it's a fairly simple thing. If you're very overweight or obese, you can pretty much guess you might be one of those 84 million people who's currently pre-diabetic. But the bad news is if you do anything, you're going to become full-blown diabetic. There's no way around it. Eventually, your pancreas is just going to say, well, I'm no longer going to process all the sugars you're putting in. I'm only going to put out enough insulin to handle this much, which means that you've got unregulated blood sugars running through your body, and that is going to cause your diabetic neuropathy, the starting phase. One of the first things to look for, okay, if you have hair on your toes now, and you start getting neuropathy, in other words, you start losing circulation and feeling, one of the first things you're going to see is the hair go, yeah, that's one of the indications you've got healthy circulation in your feet, your hands, and even if it's just peach fuzz hair, any hair that you have on your toes. If you start losing your hair on your toes, you can pretty much guess that neuropathy is starting to set in. Right? Numbness, tingling that comes beyond that. After that, it comes into full-blown burning pain. So don't mess around. Right? If you're one of those people that is pre-diabetic right now, one of the 84 million, again, the bad news is if you don't do anything, you're going to become a full-blown type 2 diabetic. I am. I take 2 different kinds of medication every day and will the rest of my life. My pancreas is only half active. I did that to me. Right? That was all me. I could have quit smoking any time between 15 and 46. I could have looked a little bit better at my diet, a lot better at my diet up until 46. I did not have to blow up to 252 pounds and get to a BMI of 38. That was all on me. Okay? I literally got fat and happy. When you're not getting symptoms, when you're not having things like a sore throat or runny nose or running a fever, gaining weight, there are no symptoms to just putting on pounds. You don't feel bad. You know, that, like I said, I was fat and happy. So, till I got hit with the type 2 diabetes, you know, and the symptoms from the type 2 diabetes, I was a fat, happy guy, cigarette smoker, fat, happy cigarette smoker in computer training. Right? And at 46, I had to make some changes. I had no choice. Right? I didn't even get the pre-diabetes warning. I was straight into diabetes. Right? So the good news on the pre-diabetes side, again, the bad news is you don't do anything. If you just ignore that warning, you will become a full-blown type 2 diabetic. You know, if you're one of those 84 million people who are right now on the line, I mean, right on the line, right? You don't do anything, you're going to become diabetic. You'll be taking medication the rest of your life, or you don't do anything and you can just plan on, you know, picking toes and fingers you don't like and giving up your vision and eventually dying because of this, because that's exactly what it's going to do to you. But the good news on the pre-diabetes, and this is only with pre-diabetes, the good news is you can get off that list. You can, all 84 million of you diabetics out there do not have to become diabetic. You do not have to worry about getting neuropathy or retinopathy or any of the horrible things that can happen with diabetes. If you're pre-diabetic, the good news is you don't have to stay on that list. You don't have to become a diabetic. You can get the freak off that list, and that choice is yours. That choice is literally yours. If you're overweight or obese right now, I'll tell you, 10%. Take 10% off your weight. If you're 250 pounds, get down to 225. If you're 200, get down to 180. If you're 150, get down to 135. It all depends on your BMI. I want to know what your body mass index is. Your BMI is going to tell me what you need to do as far as weight loss, if any. Or if you're under 18 and a half on the BMI scale, then I need to put some pounds on you. And I do have a few clients that, one lady anorexic, that we're working with that issue and trying to put some weight on her and exercise at the same time. It doesn't matter what end of the scale you're on. Unfortunately, when you're on the heavy end of the scale, that leads to things like prediabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, high just high A1C, high blood sugar. The residual effects of putting on too much weight, putting on too many pounds, have way too many issues, both on your endocrine system, as well as your joints, your knees, your ankles, your hips, your back. So 10%, if you're a pre-diabetic, 10% of that weight, take 10% off, and that will help you get off that pre-diabetes list. And taking that 10% off, let me repeat this, the amount of energy you're going to come out with, amazing. You'll have more movement. You'll be able to move around better. Much stress on your internal organ, on your heart, your pancreas, your liver, right? Your joints, your knees, your ankles, your hips, your back, all are going to appreciate the fact you take off 10% of your weight. So the simple thing is, if you're pre-diabetic, and there's more than 1 out of 4 Americans right now that are pre-diabetic, so if there's 20 people on here right now, then there's 5 of you that could be pre-diabetic right now. Right? 2/3 of you could be where I was, overweight or obese. I know you're out there. I know you need the help. That's why I'm here. I'm here to tell you you can do it. You do not have to be stuck in this situation. And again, I don't care if you're 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 years old. Your age is irrelevant. How out of shape you are is irrelevant. I don't care if your BMI was mine, 38, and you're still a cigarette smoker. You can make the changes. You can become better, little by little, step by step. Bottom line is, you have control over your health. You're the one who makes the decisions. Nobody sits there and forces cheeseburgers and fries into you all day long. That's your choice. Same with me. I understand that. I like Mickey D's. I like C. But now that overall, at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, at the end of the year, the number of calories that I put into my body versus the number of calories that I burn is going to determine whether or not I'm gaining weight, losing weight, or staying at weight. It's a numbers game. It's that simple. And you can do it too. Anybody, I have a couple folks right now participating in a week-long food diary. Right? That's where I start. Once I've gotten all the physician's numbers and I know all the numbers as far as, BMI, blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugars. Once I've got a full report from the doc on what condition you're in, and if you're released and approved to go on an exercise program or weight loss program, once I have those basics, then I want to find out what you're putting in your body, where are all your calories coming from. So that's where my food log, my food diary comes in. Hey Gabby, what's going on? Julio, what's going on? Shim, Hack, Karen, you haven't said anything today. Anyhow, bottom line is 75% of your time needs to be spent watching your nutrition. 25% of your time needs to be spent being active and exercising. That's your balance for being healthy. On the nutrition side, nobody's ever going to start becoming a health food nut overnight. I know you're not going to go out and buy a bunch of salads and tofu and rice cakes, but let's see if we can cut our portion sizes down a bit. Keeping the food diary, the food log, and I had a couple folks start on Monday. It's a simple matter of the 5 things that I need to know. that you really should need to know as well, right? What are you eating? All right, and you need to write this down in a 3-ring binder, a piece of paper, just whatever. Get yourself a bunch of pieces of paper, and for every day for a week, I want you to track what you eat. All right, so say you had a double cheeseburger. All right, and let's make it a McDonald's double cheeseburger. Alexa, how many calories are in a McDonald's double quarter pounder with cheese?
McDonald's double quarter
My
pounder
favorite,
with
by the
cheese
way.
has 262 calories per 100 grams, 74 calories per ounce. A typical size is an item of McDonald's double quarter pounder with cheese, which contains 280 grams, 9.88 ounces, of McDonald's double quarter pounder with cheese, and provides 733 calories.
733 calories. We know. And every single restaurant, every single fast food place that you go lists the number of calories in every single item on the menu. And that's whether you go to a fast food place to take out or a restaurant. So you can very easily figure out if you're eating out or eating in a fast food place, you know what the calories are. You can write them down. So on the food log that you're going to keep for 1 week, right? One, you write down what you eat and be specific. So in this case, it was a double quarter pounder with cheese from McDonald's, 733 calories. And you put as much detailed information on what you eat, and if you know the calories, easy. I mean, you can even ask, Alexa, how many calories are in a tuna sandwich? Say you make one at home.
One tuna salad sandwich has 438 calories.
So an average tuna sandwich has 438 calories. That includes your tuna and your salad dressing and whatever you normally put in with that. That's on average. So you can round that off, say 400 calories. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what you eat. Alexa, how many calories are in an Oreo?
There are 40 calories in an Oreo.
So if you have 3 Oreos, you add 120 calories. The point I'm trying to make is you can easily track what's going into your system. All right. So to start, you want to take off some pounds, you want to lose some weight, 10%, like I said, get you off the pre-diabetes list more than likely. First thing you have to do is to start tracking where the calories are coming from. It's where all the diet plans do, it's what all the meal replacements do. They just simply start make you track your calories, or they do it for you. Right? Do it yourself. Don't waste time with those stupid diet plans and fixes. So we're keeping a food log for 1 night, and I'll show you what you'll do with it at the end. What you ate, be specific, right? If you know the number of calories, figure it out. Otherwise, at the end, we figure it out. So you know what you ate. I want to know what time you had that meal. 11:30 a.m. I had a double quarter pounder with cheese at 11:30 a.m. Where did you eat it? Did you eat it at the restaurant? Did you eat it at home? Did you take it back to the office? Did you eat it in your car? You'd be surprised at some of the weird places I'm getting, and some of these folks eat their food. I want to know who you ate the food with, if anybody. Right? Did you have a family meal? Did you eat it by yourself? Did you eat it with coworkers in the lunchroom? So I want to know what you ate. I want to know what time you ate it. I want to know where you ate it. Right? I want to know if you ate it with anybody or by yourself. And then finally, I want to know why you ate that meal. Or whatever it is you eat. I don't care if you got a Starbucks latte. Everything that crosses your lips for 1 full week. Everything. I want to know what you ate. I want to know what time you ate it. I want to know where you ate it. I want to know who you ate it with, if anybody. And I want to know why you ate it. Because sometimes, and I'm not going to point any fingers, we eat because we're hungry. We eat for other reasons. There's a reason it's called comfort food. I have my own comfort foods. I understand. So, in the food diary, everything that crosses your lips for 1 full week. What you ate, be specific. If you can figure out the number of calories for that, great. Because at the end, if you don't have the calories figured out, when I go over it with you, and I go over a food diary with people at the end if they choose, I will figure out with you. All right, here's the total calories that you had for that day and for the whole week. So we figure out exactly what the calories were. And per BMI will know what the minimum number of daily calories your body needs. Just function, heart rate, breathing, brain works. Right? Like I say, for a 150-pound person, about 1,350 calories, just to stay at that weight. Okay? Every 3,500 calories additional puts on a pound of fat. So you go have, 4 or 5 double quarter pounders with cheese and you don't exercise it off, that's a pound of fat. Okay? So, and you don't have to put on that pound in a week. In a couple weeks, you could be putting on a pound a month. And putting on 12 pounds. And over 10 years, put 120 pounds. It happens slowly. I have yet to see anybody go from healthy to obese overnight. It doesn't happen. It's slow and steady. And that's the exact same way that you should target losing the weight. Slow and steady. Permanent. Permanent. Not yo-yoing, not losing 20, gaining 20, losing 20, gaining 20. That will do horrible things to your internal organs. And your metabolism won't have the freak what to do, won't have the faintest clue, because you're constantly yo-yoing. Talk about putting stress on your heart. Hey, Gabby. So like I say, 10%. If you can take off 10%, you're pre-diabetic. Take off 10% of that weight. Start by keeping your food diary, keeping a food log. Understand, even just for your own good, understand where your calories are coming from, right? So you keep that for a whole week, right? And believe me, you'll know where the calories are coming from if you do it properly. At the same time that you keep this food diary, you need to keep an activity log. Use the same paper. Use, for Monday, use just at the bottom. Here's what I did activity-wise. If you're not doing any formal exercise now, if you don't do, any kind of exercise at all, I want to know what got you off your butt that day. Did you walk the dog? Did you go to the mall and go shopping? Did you go bowling? Did you go golfing? Anything that gets you off your butt and at least gets some kind of movement going, I can count towards removing some of those calories that you ingested. Right? Knowing we'll be able to remove the autonomic amount, what we know you need just to survive, and we can look at the difference and add it up and go, oh, well, you're putting in 500 more calories per day than what you're burning. You figure 500 calories, right? For every 3,500 calories, that's additional pound of fat, right? So over 7 days, if you're putting in 500 additional calories that you're not burning off, that's 3,500 calories in 7 days. That's 1 pound of fat that you're gaining. So you could be gaining a pound a week. In a year, that's 52 pounds. Hey, I know. Take it from the big old BMI 38 guy. I know. It doesn't happen overnight, and you really don't see it coming. It sneaks up on you. It sneaks up on you. Mind you, once you get up to the point where you're super obese, talking 40 or above, long before then, you should have been looking in the mirror, and your doctor should have been saying, hey, you've got to make some changes. I can never understand how somebody gets up to that 600 plus level. And it takes enablers, and they can't do it by themselves. It takes somebody that enables them and helps them with this. And they have to understand as well, as an enabler, you're not helping them. The only thing you're enabling them to do is to get unhealthier. So, like I say, you can do it. Everybody can do it. Doesn't matter how old you are. If you currently have more weight than you need, it's a numbers game. Keep your food log, keep your food down. If you want to hire me even for a couple months as your personal trainer, a couple times a month, we can put together a personal living plan, a healthy living plan, so that eventually you'll be your own personal trainer, your own health coach, and you won't need me. But we can at least get you started to the point where, one, we can figure out where your calories are coming from. We can figure out a logical way to cut your portion sizes down and try to incorporate some form of activity, some level of activity, minimum, that's going to help with the weight loss and generally help with your physical condition. We have a tendency when we take off weight to also lose muscle and bone. So one of the key things that I like to maintain is muscle mass. When you're losing weight, I want to make sure that your muscle mass stays. And not just the muscle mass, but the tone. If you can tone up a little bit while you're losing weight, one, muscle burns your metabolism a lot faster than fat. Right? So muscle weighs more than fat. When you're putting on muscle, once that metabolism, it takes a lot more to maintain muscle than it does fat as well, which means your metabolism has to burn at a higher level. And if you're like me, I like to do my weights, my resistance training, and all my cardio training in the morning, so that for the rest of the day, my metabolism is burning. So for 6, 8, 10 hours after I'm done doing weights, my metabolism and my muscles are still burning. Right? I mean, not burning as in the kind of burn I'm talking about, power burn, but in burn as in metabolism, burning calories. So getting a workout done early, although mind you, when I was working, I would get my workout done whenever I could squeeze it in. If I had to get up early in the morning and go do my miles, I did it. If I had to do it at lunchtime from the office, I went and did it. More often than not, I had to wait till after work and go do my miles then. You literally have to incorporate this into your life. It has to become a part of your life. Not something that you do part-time, not something that you think about. And I'm not talking about going and buying a gym membership. Because if you're like me, I bought that gym membership and went 3 times. A lot of good that did me. Right? Buying exercise, sticking it in the corner, that's not going to do you either. Right? What you've got to figure out is a logical way to get the calories in line, to get your positive energy balance to a negative energy balance, and activity levels that are going to be the required activity levels you need to be healthy. That simple. If you're losing weight, it's this minimum amount of activity levels, like I said, 60 minutes a day, 5 days a week, 300 minutes if you need to lose weight or if you're over 50. That's simple. So I hope you guys have learned a little something today. If you have, please fan me up. Like is it you guys feel like doing out there? Hey, Make, what's going on? I plan to be on this platform pretty much every day this year. My goal by the end of the year is to help hundreds, if not thousands of you start getting your health in order. Cigarette smokers, I'm helping quit for free. So if you're still puffing on the smokes like I did for 31 years, if you are ready to get rid of the cigarettes, even if you're vaping, I don't care. If you're ready to get rid of the nicotine, reach out. Just send me a message. We'll Skype and I will help you get rid of those cigarettes for free. And that's my give back. And as long as I'm on this platform, as long as I'm live and talking to you guys, you can ask me any question you would ask any personal trainer or any health coach. Right? In fact, you can ask me any question you can think of. In the book I wrote, I cover a lot more than just topics on eating healthy. You learn a lot over a certain number of decades on the planet, so I like to share when I can. Like I say, for me, it's MLK Day every day this year. Now, you guys, I appreciate you tuning in. I will be back on here again tomorrow. I've got to go finish my weights, got to get my resistance training done. Like I tell all the time, you certainly wouldn't bring me as a personal trainer or even listening to me if I still look like this, right? And if my BMI was still 38 instead of 22, you wouldn't exactly be listening to me as far as health advice. But then again, I didn't become a personal trainer and certified health coach till 56, 10 years after I started losing weight. So for me, getting certified is just my ability to say, yeah, I've been there, done that, but I also got certified to prove that I understand what I'm talking about. I have my A certifications back me up that I took the time to learn everything that I had to fill in holes-wise, because certainly I have the experience in losing weight. Certainly I've got the experience in quitting cigarettes. Yes, I've got the experience in dealing with type 2 diabetes and chronic back pain. And I can tell you that all day long. But unless I can stand here in front of you and say, I got certified so that I can talk to you about it logically, professionally, so that you can ask me questions and I can answer them in a responsible manner. Right? My goal, like I said, is to make sure every single millennial out there lives to 100 plus without wearing diapers, without drooling on yourselves. Healthy, happy, balanced individuals. So, before I go, let me leave you a little positive reminder. Every morning when you wake up, every morning when your eyes open, you're already ahead of the game because 90,000 people that went to sleep the night before didn't wake up the next morning. Their eyes didn't open up. Every single night, 90,000 people pass away in their sleep, thereabouts. Right? So when you wake up in the morning, I don't care what your situation is. Me, I've got back pain. I deal with permanent diabetes. Right? We all have issues. We all have things that can make us unhappy or sad or depressed. All what I call challenges. Okay? But when you wake up in the morning and your eyes open up, just the fact that you woke up puts you on the positive side. You're already the glass is half full. You're already ahead of 90,000 people who went to bed the night before but didn't wake up that morning. Every single morning. Okay? So, when you wake up and you have those challenges, you wake up, oh my God, my boss sucks, oh, my back hurts, oh, I have diabetes. I mean, we all have issues that we wake up with, okay? I don't care if it's a bad relationship, a bad job, or bad health, whatever. We all have challenges to overcome. But when your eyes open up, that means you've got that opportunity again. Again, you have the chance to do something positive for yourself, your family, your friends, your community, the animals in your life. And I'm a big animal person. You have that choice every morning. So I wrote a whole chapter in my book, The Advantages of Being an Optimist, and I firmly believe in them. And being optimistic on it allows you to be happy about things more often than not. It allows you to overcome challenges a little bit easier. And when things don't go your way, you don't get as upset when you're more of an optimist because you know, all right, it didn't go so good this time, but it'll go better next time. Being a glass is half full person as opposed to a glass is half empty person, in general, will help you lead a longer life and a happier life. So like I say, every morning when your eyes open up, you're already in the plus side. You're already in everything after that pretty much is gravy. I mean the gravy you eat, just gravy. You know the expression. So like I said, I appreciate you guys tuning in today. I hope I've been at least a little bit helpful. If so, then please go ahead and fan me. Like anything that you happen to hear. If you guys want to capture a moment with the ugly mug here, I'll go ahead and do that for you as well. But like I say, you and you only are the person who decides how your day is going to go, how your life's going to go. You're going to have a good day, you're going to have a bad day. The choice really is yours. And the fact that you get that choice in the first place, the fact that you even woke up this morning should be a positive right off the bat. Like I said, 90,000 people every single night do not wake up the next morning. And that's for all reasons. Unfortunately, the leading cause of death in America is still coronary arterial disease, CAD, which comes from being overweight and obese and out of shape. And it is still the leading cause of death that we can prevent. So think about it. You have that chance every day to make things better. Every day. A little bit better. Step by step. Don't look for permanent short-term solutions or quick fixes. Look for things that are slow lifestyle changes. Anyhow, if you want to hire me as a personal trainer, you can certainly do so. Personaltrainingwithbrad.com is my website, personaltrainingwithbrad.com. Anybody here on YouNow who is a current fan, and I'll check, see if you're a fan, you get an hour of my time for free, on top of the initial consultation, which is always free. So if you go ahead and keep that food diary, you keep that food log for a week, right? Hit me up on any of my links or on my website and just say, hey, Brad, I'm a YouNow fan. I kept the food diary for a week. Can we go over it and see what I can do? I'm there. We'll take that hour after our consultation, and we will sit down and figure out what changes we can make that you can start right on right away as far as starting to get your health under control. But you can do it. Anybody can do it, and it doesn't matter how old. So like I said, when you wake up tomorrow morning, first think, hey, this is good. I'm awake. Okay? I'm alive. I beat 90,000 other people today. On top of that, think what you can do, positive steps, even little positive steps, to improve your life, improve your health, improve the things for people around you. Because remember,